So to talk about what it is to achieve things at a high level and then realizing that it's basically a slow build. And it took Apple, like, I don't know, off the top of my head, 40 years to get to $1 trillion market cap. And now you see they're at let's just round up, $2.5 trillion in market cap. So 40 years of innovation, engineering, grinding, marketing, selling, dealing with ups and downs of the tech world to finally hit that, mythical $1 trillion market cap. And I think it took them about 2 more years to go from 1 trillion to 2.5 trillion. And I talk about this a lot in business because everything in business is a slow build. Um, I was just talking to a friend that's in the music industry, trying to get his stuff to blow up. He's already got some major placements out there, and I'm like, nothing's going to get done in 6 months. Like you wake up one day and it's spring, and then now it's October. That's You snap your fingers. 6 months went by that fast. Everything, unless you get lucky, unless you go viral, all this stuff. It's a slow build. It's getting the first $1 million is so much harder than getting from 1 million to 2 million in business. And by the time you get to 5 million, going from 2 to 5 million is way easier than going from 0 to 1 million, and then going from 5 million to 10 million, piece of cake. Um, you don't realize how hard it is to like move that shit from like 0 to 1. As things build, they pick up steam. They get more momentum. You're more stable. You can deal with the ups and downs better. But I think that's also every YouTube channel out there that didn't get lucky. You see the charts of 4 or 5 years on a YouTube channel. It took them a year to go from 0 to 100 followers, and another year to go from 1,000 or to go from like 100 to 1,000, another year to go from 1,000 to 10,000. It's like they can 10x, but the first 2 or 3 years are super slow. Year 5, you get a hockey stick and the shit goes straight up. And again, it's a slow build. You got to keep grinding. You're winning over people, customers, followers, one at a time. You might be, every time you produce a piece of content, you might get one follower. And I think that's so many things in business where, I see people coming up short now when they start their companies because they think they're going to get all this funding and it's just going to go to the moon like they're one of these unicorns out there. And it's like, that's not reality for 99.9% of people. Trying to blow up a podcast, slow build. Trying to blow up a YouTube channel, slow build. Trying to start a landscaping business, slow build. Everything's about a slow build. You're not going to just, strike it rich at 25 years old unless you get lucky. Do you have the perseverance and the determination, and can you keep making sacrifices and keep grinding and keep hustling every day? No days off. Screw that bullshit. Don't take Saturday and Sunday off if you're trying to really get somewhere. You can't take 2 days off out of 7 and expect amazing things to happen. You keep grinding. Otherwise, you think about it. If it takes that long to build something, imagine taking 2 days off every week and expecting to get somewhere fast. You got to put your foot on the pedal and don't let up. Put the horse blinders on and don't look left and don't look right. Keep your eye on the prize and you don't slow down. But you see how fast things move once you get them up there. Like I said, it's getting that first $1 million in business, always the hardest. But going from 5 to 10 is not what you think it is. In the same way you saw Apple, finally get to $1 trillion and in a couple of years go to 2.5 trillion. There's this critical mass, and then once it gets moving, it's actually hard to slow it down. But you see YouTube channels do that. One day they got 10,000 followers, and the next minute they got 250,000 followers. And then you look back and you go, oh, they started this account in 2012 and they've been grinding for almost a decade. Yeah, if you got good content and you keep grinding, your day finally comes. But until your day comes, you're sitting there wondering if it's ever going to come, and it's tough. You gotta believe, and you gotta keep doing it, and you gotta keep grinding. I think that's every business out there that you're trying to get customers, and it's slow the first year or two. You're out there grinding out every customer. And the next thing you know, you just get 10 one week. And then a year later, now you're getting 20 a week. Everything's a slow build unless you get lucky, man. I think it's a lesson you got to learn if you're doing content, if you're a digital creator, if you're trying to start a small business, whatever you're trying to build an audience for your writings, you want to sell books one day, whatever it is you want to do, it's going to be a slow build. Um, every little level of success, it's these tiny little wins, right? Not very often are you going to get these huge wins along the path. But one day they will become normal. They will just become an everyday occurrence, and you get numb to it. Like, oh, I'm that way now with one of my companies. Every week we get a handful of Fortune 500 companies calling us. It used to, you get a call from a Fortune 500, it used to like make my week, make my month. Now it happens all the time. You're just used to it. It's at a point where you just expect it because this is the level of business that you're doing now. But I thought Apple was a good example to use because you realize it took them 40 years to get to that trillion, but only a couple of years to go from 1 trillion to 2.5. Um, I wouldn't say Apple was a complete slow build. I mean, they did have some early success, but 40 years to get to one level and to, double that in 2 years. Like, think about that. Just a matter of whatever it is you're doing, do you have the perseverance to just keep grinding it out every day and slowly building it until it becomes something special? That's going to separate you from the people that did it and the people that didn't. So keep that in mind. That's all I got for this one. I'm going to catch you on the next one.